ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a good karma brands radio station.
Another primetime game, another gruesome Dolphins injury. What it means for Miami.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It is your boy Theo Dorsey. We're back in the studio, back from Miami. A day in the 305. It was a good time. It's Top 5 Tuesday. It is also going to be a Monday midterms on a Tuesday because we couldn't do the Monday midterms from Miami Heat Media Day from Kaseya Center, so we're bringing in Tina in the happy hour to do that. We got Cameron Wolf howling with the Wolf later on. We're able to catch up with Wolf from NFL Network last night in the press box as we watched the Miami Dolphins pick up their first victory of the season, 27-21 on Monday Night Football over the New York Jets. Seacats on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos, and you also were on the other side of the glass of that press box looking down on Hard Rock Stadium's field as early in the third quarter, we saw Tyreek Hill catch a pass, an out route going towards I believe it was the visiting sideline, and a tackle that left his leg literally hanging the opposite way. His knee was contorted in a way in which we knew would be detrimental, and CCAT, it was ugly to watch, and we knew immediately his season was over.
Yeah, he kind of looked like a contortionist. It looked ugly down there.
Yeah.
We saw the instant replay from inside the booth.
Kept playing.
And it got loud, man.
Yeah.
They're like, oh!
Yeah.
Probably sounded like a lot of our fans' living rooms when they were watching Monday Night Football last night. It was pretty brutal, pretty weird reaction from Tyreek Hill. He probably was just in shock, and the adrenaline was pumping because he was like smiling, clapping, and like
yelling,
in great spirits while he was being carted off the field. So I guess good for Tyreek that he wasn't in the amount of visible pain I expected.
Sometimes that kind of a release can also be a release that gets you out of the pain. Like he does strike me as the kind of guy that wouldn't want people to see him down. You know, he's not going to be hanging his head sad or anything like that. And at that point, the shock and the adrenaline is already going through you. It's not like he's agonizing in pain at that point.
Theo, I was hurt about a month ago now. And when I was in the doctor's office while they were sewing up or trying to sew up my finger, I didn't want to shed a tear in front of the urgent care people.
Yeah.
But I had no choice. I feel like you don't have any choice to hide your pain at some points, especially when you tear every ligament in your right leg.
Right, and that is the report. It was a dislocated knee, and it resulted in, and let me get this correct for the good people at home listening to Theoretically Speaking, Adam Schefter reports he tore multiple ligaments in his knee, including the ACL, and he's having surgery later on today. I mean, he had to be rushed to the hospital out of Hard Rock Stadium because when you have that severe of a knee injury, you also have to check for other things that could be like detrimental to your actual health. It's not just about will he play football again at that point. It's like those kind of things can somehow, some way lead to life-threatening type deals. So it was serious. And for him, I think on that cart, it's just he knows he's a polarizing figure. Tyreek Hill understands that also the Dolphins are a very volatile bunch, you know, like emotionally, spiritually, like we've had year after year players leave that locker room and then talk about how weak-minded, weak-hearted that team is. I do believe that him doing that on the cart was him trying to keep the mood up, keep the vibes high because the Dolphins were winning. Like that's the kind of injury though, CCAT, that if a team doesn't respond the right way to it, it can derail the game and it can take their heart out of it a little bit and it can lead to you collapsing in the second half. I think it was partially Hill doesn't want people to see him down. And then also he's like, I can't let these dudes see me down because then they might play in a way in which lets the Jets back in the game.
If I dislocate my knee in the middle of a show somehow, some way, the last thing I'm going to think about is I can't let this hurt the rest of Theoretically Speaking.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in pain, in agony, and not giving two damns about anybody else in this room.
Well, that shows your character versus Tyreek Hill's.
Oh, no. Damn. I'm lower on the totem pole? That's a tough barometer to lose.
In one way, In one way, Tyreek Hill has you beat right there as a man. He's like, no. He put the team above himself.
How am I going to look in the mirror tonight?
I don't know. I don't know how you would, but luckily you're not going to be put in that scenario. You will be put in other scenarios he's been put in life, and hopefully you're a better man than him in those. And a lot of that is allegedly, but a lot of that has a lot of substantiated facts behind it. C-Cat, I don't want to get into all of that. I don't want to get into the whole Tyreek Hill discussion. I don't think that the loss of Tyreek Hill, which will be for the season, and some people are starting the debate today of whether or not he'll play football again. When you're that athletic, when you're that explosive, a knee injury like that, like, yes, you're going to lose some of that explosion. You're going to lose some of that athleticism, and it doesn't help that he's like 5'7". But a knee injury like that is not going to take all of that away. I do think that he will probably play football again. He's also like the kind of guy that would risk it, you know? The kind of guy that's going to force himself back out there to play football again. He doesn't want his last snap of NFL football to be one in which he's carted off on. He has a lot of pride. He will play football again. I don't know if it'll be in a Dolphins uniform. I don't want to get into that conversation today. What I do want to talk about is what this means for the Miami Dolphins. They earned their first victory of the season last night, 27-21. It wasn't actually a very pretty performance. If you look at the box score, you might feel like the Dolphins were dominant. But let me just run you through the quick facts of this game right quick. The Jets, they actually outgained the Dolphins by 103 yards. 103 total yards throughout that game. Justin Fields, 20 for 27 as a passer. It didn't feel like that, did it, C-Cat?
It was
20 for 27, 226 yards for Justin Fields.
You know,
it did not feel like that. Only took 2 sacks. It looked way worse, but it came out way better.
Yeah, I visited a couple of Jets fans that were get this. They watched their favorite baseball team, the New York Mets, had the final nail in the coffin of their season at Lone Depot Park on Sunday, and then they watched their Jets put up a pitiful performance on a Monday. It felt a lot worse for Justin Fields and that Jets offense than 20 for 27 and over 200 yards passing.
I'm going to say something. You're not going to like it. Dolphins fans aren't going to like it. And it's not going to make a lot of sense right here, right now, today. The Jets were a better football team. The Jets were the better football team last night. They were just the more undisciplined football team. They made more errors. They beat themselves time and time again. Last night was less about the Dolphins and more about the Jets. And I don't want to sit here and overreact to the Dolphins finally putting a notch in the win column. Instead, I'm going to look at what this actually means for Miami, because if you look at the numbers, if you look at the stats, and if you watch the game flow, C-Cat, the reason why Mike McDaniel went for it on 4th and 5, it was 4th and goal from the 5-yard line. The reason he went for it there is because he knew what I just said in this moment when they were only up by 3, that they were going to have to score points in order to fend off this Jets offense. The difference is the Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa, and all credit to him, turned the ball over 0 times. The Jets turned it over 3 times, including a huge sack fumble that gave the Dolphins incredible field position, and a Braylon Allen fumble, which was a punch-out. Credit to, I think it was Jones, who got the punch-out on the goal line. Very reminiscent of last year's punch-out against the Jaguars. Who was that? The safety that left, Javon Holland, had a play like that in week 2 or 3. That punch-out that would have been 7, but instead turned into 3 for the Dolphins, plus the Justin Fields strip sack. And in the start of the third quarter, you get a kickoff return fumble. Those 3 fumbles were the difference in the game, and the Dolphins only squeals away with a win by 6. 6-point win at home against a Jets team that has been decrepit, an 0-4 Jets team. So last night was less about the Dolphins, less about the Dolphins, more about how undisciplined and bad the Jets have been. 13 accepted penalties for 101 yards the Jets gave up, and the Dolphins still inked their way by. A part of that is Tyreek Hill did go out, and he was really good before he left. I mean, C-Cat, he looked well on his way to an 100-yard day.
Oh, yeah. He was finding space. He was moving laterally well.
Yeah.
Like just from not down the field, but using his speed to drag across the zone. He was doing very well.
I love the little scampers. You know he's going when he catches it in space over the middle, and then he starts scampering towards one of the sidelines. You're like, oh, my God, it's about to be big. 6 catches, 67 yards for Tyreek Hill. But again, less about the Dolphins last night, more about the New York Jets. And this is what I have to say about Miami. I know that there's going to be a lot of people trying to figure out what the trajectory of this team is going to be over the next 2 years, 3 years, so. I can't concern myself with all that. I'm stuck right now in 2025. They're 1-3. Over their next 6 games, they have 3 games at home, all against playoff teams. And then they have 3 games on the road, all against teams with a losing record who also were not in the playoffs last year. We're going to learn a lot about them over the next 6 games. We didn't learn much about them last night, but the first 3 games were not pretty. They were not the results you want to see from a team that you have playoff expectations for. At least a 7 or 8 win team. You did not look like that through the first 4 games of the season. But I lean now on our friends from the morning show, Unsportsmanlike, Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman, who reacted to the Dolphins' win last night. And I want to start with what this means for the job security of both Mike McDaniel and general manager Chris Grier. And for that, we go to the Super Bowl champion, Chris Canty.
That win in no way, shape, or form guarantees that both of those guys are going to be able to survive the season. Because that win had more to do with the Jets giving it away than the Dolphins taking it.
Amen,
and they just
brother.
lost their best player.
Amen, brother. Canty spitting right there. Do you think that did anything for Mike McDaniel's job security? Do you think that he's now looked at more favorably because they won a game?
Yeah, I think he actually does. Like, I think
How?
that winning in prime time against a divisional opponent, obviously being 1-3 is a whole lot better than being 0-4. I think that win absolutely does do things because it's against a rebuilding Jets team who should not win that game. The Dolphins are not in a rebuild. like
They kind of are, though. They're in a quiet rebuild. Like, Tyreek Hill's not playing another game for the Dolphins. There's no way he's in their long-term plan.
they didn't go into last night thinking that Tyreek Hill was not going to play week 5.
I'm just saying this, and like he was one of their best and highest paid players, and he's likely not on the roster next year. Like you're kind of you're in the middle of a rebuild, but nobody wants your best assets. They traded away Jalen Ramsey before the season. They got back a guy in Minka Fitzpatrick who's really good, but I'm just saying like they got rid of Jonnu Smith. I would say the person whose stock rose the most last night wasn't Tua, wasn't Mike McDaniel, definitely wasn't Chris Grier. It was Darren Waller. Because not only did Darren Waller come back from not playing a game in 2 years to have 2 touchdowns, and they were both pivotal touchdowns, one jump ball in the back of the end zone and the other one on a deep crosser. Darren Waller, he also seemed to position himself as somewhat of a leader following that win, and that is not something I expected. I didn't know what to expect with Waller. He's 33 years old. He's like 6'6". He's fast as all get out for a guy that size, and he's been a mismatch problem ever since he stepped in the league. I didn't know what was left of that guy because it just felt like a random, I'm going to sign a 1-year contract, I'm going to get some bread, and I'm going to enjoy my retirement in South Florida. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, it was a punchline. Like the Darren Waller news was nothing but laughable when it happened, not only locally in South Florida, but it was a nationwide kind of chuckle at. Remember that music video? That's what everyone kind of reacted to. The guy was retired. It's unbelievable.
People making jokes about his dismantling, and then he like crashed out on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Then he had the issue with his ex-wife, I believe, at this point now, Kelsey Plum. I mean, there was a lot of things going on with Darren Waller. But last night, 2 touchdowns. Not only that, he ends up getting in the game ball from Mike McDaniel. And take a listen to Darren Waller. He sounds here more like a leader than anything I've heard out of Tyreek Hill over the past couple of years with the Dolphins.
Couldn't wait to just get back out here with y'all, man. I see the way that y'all respond when necessary the results weren't going our way. The men that I look up to in the world today is not the ones that got everything, that got all the money, that's flashy, that's doing all that. It's the men that know how to respond when adversity hits.
No diss to Tyreek Hill, and I'm not here to sit here and stump on his grave as he now is going to be, trying to rehab. Speedy recovery, get back soon. When adversity hit the Dolphins, how did Tyreek Hill respond?
I'm out. I got to get out of here, man.
He immediately ran for the escape route, looking for the exit door. Salida. That's how you say it in Spanish. Did you know that?
Yeah, I've seen those signs once before.
I impressed some folks recently with that pull.
So when there was adversity, it was like Michael Scott in the fake fire drill that Dwight put on, where he's pushing people out of the way so we can find the exit.
That was Tyreek Hill. Very fast, by the way. That was Tyreek Hill. Whereas Darren Waller talk specifically to how they respond. 0-3, nobody believes in you. It's on a primetime slate right there, Monday Night Football. And it happened, they stayed together and they made it work after Tyreek Hill goes out with that gruesome injury. I'm not saying Darren Waller is going to be the leader of that locker room. I'm not saying that losing Tyreek Hill is a good thing, a net good thing for them. But as I look at Jalen Waddle's contract and as Miami Dolphins need to figure out, can he actually be a one? Remember all that offseason and training camp hype around how Jalen Waddle was going to be the best wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins this year? He's going to be the new wide receiver one. That's why we could trade Tyreek Hill. Remember all that? That was fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Waddle was a no-show last night. Jalen Waddle didn't do anything when Tyreek Hill was in the game. He didn't do anything when Tyreek Hill was out of the game. 3 catches, 48 yards. In fact, that's about how his whole season has looked through 4 games. At the Colts, week 1, 4 catches, 30 yards, no touchdown. Versus the Patriots at home, 5 catches, 68 yards, 1 score. And then you get the Bills game where it's 5 catches, 39 yards on Thursday Night Football, and he gets a touchdown. And then at home against the Jets, no Hill for most of the second half. You are playing with a lead, but he only has 3 catches. It's not a knock on Waddle. Part of it is usage. But then also, if you're a wide receiver, you have to demand targets, and he has not been able to do so far this year in the way in which they alluded he might be able to. The Dolphins now get to literally figure out, what do we have in Tua? What do we have in Waddle? This Malik Washington guy, we're going to get him more burn. And then also you have Darren Waller, who's going to be a mismatch problem. And to be honest with you, I would have loved to see a full season of Waller in the middle with Hill and Waddle and all these other weapons, and having Tua be able to get the ball out quickly or have the option to hold on to it like he did a couple of times last night and push the ball down the field. I would have loved to see that. We won't see that because Hill is now out. But if you're the Dolphins brass, you can get a very accurate depiction of what you have and all of these other guys you're likely going to have in your long-term future. Here's, though, Evan Cohen on Unsportsmanlike doing exactly what I'm doing right now and not saying that the Dolphins are going to be better off with Tyreek Hill out, but just kind of wondering aloud.
You'd rather have Tyreek Hill than not. He's one of the best players in the NFL. Is he a fit with Tua? We're not sure about that in terms of their personalities. And I just wonder, and I'm not suggesting this is a good thing at all, that Tyreek Hill's not there. Is there something that Tua is now going to have to do different that puts him in a better position to win? Maybe he needs more actually put on him.
Are you thinking like asking. Josh Allen, Steph Diggs?
I'm just wondering aloud. I don't think you ever sign up for Tyreek Hill to not be on your football field. That's crazy to not want him on your team in terms of that perspective. I am wondering if what is being asked of Tua moving forward could be helpful to Tua versus hurtful. I'm wondering.
He's just wondering. That's it. It's not bad to wonder. You know, they told us as we were children, be full of wonder. It's okay for him to wonder. Are you wondering?
I'm wondering.
I'm wondering too. But what I will say is wonder no longer because we're about to get 14 games or 13? 13 games of it. We get 13 and a half games of the Miami Dolphins with no Tyreek Hill. And again, you don't wish injury on a guy. You also, if you were a Dolphins fan, were expecting to see this anyway because he was literally on the trade block all offseason and into the regular season. He's probably one of the hottest trade candidates. Literally 2 weeks in, everybody's trying to put Tyreek Hill back on the Chiefs. You're not going to get him off your books, but you're not going to see him likely ever again in a Dolphins uniform. And you do need to figure out what you have in the guys that are in your locker room currently, and can they be the kind of guys that you need to continue to invest in long term. I don't think this is going to be a net negative for Tyreek Hill. I have seen teams year after year after year also still be well without their number 1 wide receiver. Look at what the Chiefs did when they got rid of Tyreek Hill. Back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Look at the Cowboys. Look at the Dallas Cowboys. They lost CeeDee Lamb. They go up against one of the best defenses in the league, and they drop 40 on them. Like, teams seem to be able to prevail without their wide receiver 1, and they also start to learn what other people can do in bigger roles when those guys are absent. The Buccaneers, Mike Evans goes down. Still look like a good offense. Same thing happened last year with them. You can prevail without a wide receiver 1. Tua getting hurt last night would have been more detrimental than Tyreek Hill.
I think that goes without saying, though. You never want to lose your quarterback.
True. But I say that to say there's a lot of people that would value Tyreek Hill over Tua Tagovailoa because of what they think of him as a quarterback. Okay. Like, and we've seen that happen as well. Like the primetime If I were to tell you there's going to be somebody that's going to have a gruesome injury that's going to put him out for the season last night on primetime television for the Miami Dolphins, and we did a poll, like 90% of people would have said it was going to be Tua.
Yeah, and with what we've seen from Tua this year, he hasn't put great stuff on tape. He's looked like a very far below average quarterback, but we saw the wins and losses and translate in the past years when he is out with those head injuries.
But how about those Dolphins fans, C-Cat?
You know what? Hard Rock Stadium was humming.
It was lit.
It was. And maybe, just maybe, this was circled on their calendar. It's very known how many New Yorkers are down here. But when it was 4th and 5, the Jets have the football, and the crowd gets involved to try to force a false start, to try to cause some miscommunication between the Jets' offense and their quarterback, Hard Rock Stadium got loud.
Absolutely bonkers. I went to the 300 section just to go meet one of my buddies during halftime to see what he was up to, and I could not get through to get to him at one point because of how much chaos and people celebrated and talking and yapping. I'm like, whoa, it is a lively environment. Before the game, as we were walking in, I was like, man, Miami Hurricanes games have more juice at this stadium than what the Dolphins are bringing tonight in a primetime slot. On the exit, I'm like, actually, you know what? The fans brought it.
Because it's a sliding scale. It's tough. College football fandom is a little bit different, but the Miami Hurricanes have given Miami Hurricanes fans much more to be energized about and cheer about, especially in the past couple of years, than Miami Dolphins fans have. But Miami's the whole city. Miami Hurricanes are more of the fan base of maybe alum, or people that grew up right there.
Or people that go to college 3 hours away.
Yes. And that stadium's so far away from campus, so you grade things differently. The Miami Dolphins have fans that aren't from Florida, that maybe retire down here, that are fans from the Marino days.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to nail down, but the Dolphins fans represented themselves very well last night when you look at the big picture, and none of them can be Johnny come lately because Johnny hasn't come lately. Johnny has been struggling watching Dolphins football lately.
What was your number one takeaway from last night's Dolphins win, 27-21? Was it what C-Cat just said? Johnny hasn't come lately, but the Dolphins fans still showed up. My number one takeaway is that this is going to be a net gain for Dolphins fans and for the fans themselves, as they are going to be able to now figure out what they actually have in people in that locker room that they're invested in long term. You don't want to lose Tyreek Hill. You want to be able to beat the Jets by a more sizable margin when they play as horribly as they did, when they play as undisciplined as they did. And Aaron Glenn, man, I would like to have a word.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
I don't know what you've been built for. 0-4, and there's been a lot of lackadaisical errors that has brought you to that point.
I'm just seeing people having a 30-second video of the last 3 Jets coaches and their faces on the sideline while they watch their seasons crumble, and they have the same look on their face.
And the sad part is they were really methodically moving the ball down the field time and time again, and just silly errors. They could have won that game. What was your number one takeaway from last night's Monday Night Football win for the Dolphins? 27-21 over the Jets. Mine is, well, they'll be okay. Dolphins are not doomed yet. Dolphins not doomed yet. You ain't getting rid of Mike McDaniel that quick. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. And just enjoy Victory Tuesday for once. Dolphins fans, I want you to feel hope, to feel enlightened, to be gleeful, to be happy. I know it sucks. Tyreek Hill is really fast. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Join the other good people that love to tune in and tap into the show on the Baptist Health Hotline. Welcome to pro-level orthopedic care at Baptist Health. From sports injuries to everyday aches, our expert team delivers the same advanced care trusted by the pros. Get back to the life and the activities you love. Learn more at baptisthealth.net/ortho. If it sounds like I have 5 Jolly Ranchers in my mouth as I'm speaking today,
He's only got 2.
It is because I went to the dentist this morning and they swore to me, C-Cat, they swore to me that I would have the full filling back in my mouth and be able to speak adequately within 1 to 1.5 hours. And that was like 3 hours ago.
Can't believe he trusted those people.
They lied to me. They lied to me.
Another day goes by where I am proven right on my dentist take.
They also tried to upsell me on this mouth guard thing, and they made me sign. Like, they gave a pitch to me about how this $300 mouth guard could help me from stop grinding my teeth. And multiple people, by the way, there was an opener and a closer. I'm like, hey, do the damn fill-ins. All right, where's the person that's going to be, like, drilling my teeth? Like, that's the part I came for. No. An opener and a closer. And I denied it like 4 different times. A $300 mouth guard that's supposed to save me from grinding my teeth too much or whatnot, which I told them I'll do my research later, and I'll let you know. And after they were done with their pitch, they would not let me leave until I signed a piece of paper saying that they pitched me on it.
Typical.
The hell is happening at these dentist offices?
You know, like 5 years ago, like debating on science and doctors was hot in the streets and it was dominating the news stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring it back for dentists. I'm just going to be the one man on a hill shouting about how I'm not a fan of the dentist. I'm going to rise up. I'm going to run for office for something. I don't really know how that works, but I'll get at least one signature. I've got yours, Theo.
Yeah, you know, I'm signing. If there's anybody out here that understands dentistry and can explain to me why in the hell I am being sold things while my mouth is numb and I'm in a chair, mouth agape, waiting on them to drill into my teeth, fill some cavities up, that is a vulnerable position for me to be in.
And then while you're about to walk out the door, defeated, in pain, and hundreds of dollars poorer, hey, Theo, what's your schedule looking like May of 2026?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. It is despicable what they tried to do to me this morning.
In case you want to give us $600 more, we'll be here.
Yeah, we'll be right here if you just want to fork it over. Are they working on commission? I don't think my hygienist should be working on commission. I think that she should get paid a set rate, and she should not be trying to sell me things. Here's the other problem, C-Cat. The lady that, I don't know if she's the hygienist or what. There's a lady that was more of an assistant, and there was the doctor that did the drilling. They were both, doing their thing. And at one point in the midst of all of it, they switched from English to Spanish on me.
Whoa.
And these are both of the two of the people that were trying to sell me on the mouth guard thing.
That's like what happens at nail salons or maybe in hair salons. If the people that are maybe English second language speakers, they'll switch up and they'll be talking about the people that are getting their nails done or getting their hair done. I've heard these stories.
But these were English first language.
Wait, real? Are you sure?
I would assume so. They both spoke English very well, not much of an accent. Like one of the doctor herself, I was surprised. I was like, oh,
they were talking about you. They were saying
one of them.
Yeah, he said he used to be on news. I've never seen him on news.
I made sure not to tell them where they could find me or what I do. I kept it very ambiguous. I don't want them to hear me talking crap about them. But man, this is crazy what's happening at these dentist offices. So I just need some help. 888-760-3776 Hit us up on the Bat Sales Dial. Tell me how I can circumvent these issues I'm having at the dentist office. We're going to go to break. We're going to have Paul Maurice on soon, head coach of the Florida Panthers. And CCAT, can people hear about racetrack first?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because I like a good pit stop. Pit stop on the way to our Paul Maurice. Exclusive with Paul Maurice. 2-time Stanley Cup champion Paul Maurice, by the way.
So racetrack, you might have heard of it from my mouth. You might have heard of it when you're driving down the street. Racetrack is the #1 gas station that you have to stop at. 7.5 million people choose Racetrack and are happy. That's not this month. It's not this year. That's every single week. 7.5 million happy people that choose to go to Racetrack. Racetrack's got everything you need. They've got your ice cold drinks. They've got your salty snacks. They have whatever gets you going. That's their motto. Whatever gets you going. Maybe you need coffee today. They've got that. In, out, 30 seconds, convenience personified. They've got the drinks, the fountain. You can have maybe something frozen.
Brown drinks.
Maybe something iced. Maybe you open the fridge and you've got an iced tea that you wanted, we're looking forward to. Sports drinks, they've got that. They've got good hot food. I'm telling you, the loaded ultimate nacho tornado, delicious. It's my go-to. It's my routine. Every single Friday, I leave, theoretically speaking, at 4 o'clock. I drive to our HSS Game of the Week for high school sports, and I stop at a Racetrack on the way, and I pick up not 1, but 2 ultimate loaded nacho tornadoes. Ooh. Think about a taquito, that type of deal. It's warm, it's there, it's ready. You can get it in 60 seconds, and they're buy one, get one for $1. Racetrack, I told you they support our high school sports 24/7. They invest in our local community, so make sure you choose Racetrack next time you are on the road trying to get some gas. Stop inside and fill your belly up too. Racetrack is supporting our local communities. They have whatever gets you going.
Rat Pack, we have your leader. Not like in custody or anything, just we have an interview with him. Paul Maurice on the other side. It's Theoretically Speaking at CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. We are on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine, and our team is a triple threat to big insurance companies.
Don't settle with the insurance companies for a fraction of what your case is worth. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Get your free case review right now. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stressed life. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manso's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manso's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop.
Stanley Cup champion head coach of the Florida Panthers.
11. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. The next chapter of Audi is here. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Tina, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hey, Colin, what's up?
How's the gym?
It's been great. I'm seeing results. My sports-certified Vitacost products have made a world of difference.
Oh, same. Isn't it great? Vitacost is basically the reason I've been able to keep up with Ironman training. Everything you need is in one place for my BCAAs, protein, and electrolytes. Best part, it's all clean and free of banned substances.
Go re-up on your supplements today. Visit Vitacost.com and use code ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game with Vitacost.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Wait, I didn't hear you. What you said?
Hey, Culligan man.
Oh, there it is. That's what it was. Y'all know what Culligan water is about at this point, man. Culligan.com. That's the website if you don't. And I can tell you right now, you might be suffering from some issues that Culligan can help you with. Maybe your water is full of toxins and pharmaceuticals and other things that are detrimental to your health. The reverse osmosis system can help with that. I have it. It works. Check it out. Culligan.com. See if you have issues in your water by going to Culligan.com and getting a free water test. It's that simple. Or maybe you're like, all right, I can deal with a little bit of just drinking things that's harmful to my body. But what I can't deal with is when I go in the shower, I have these issues where I use all the shampoo, I use all the soap, but somehow, some way I leave with brittle hair and dry skin. What goes wrong there, Theo? It's not good. They're booing you. You know why they're booing you? It's because you got hard water and you need soft water. You need a water softener. Culligan Water has that as well. Culligan.com. They can hook you up. There are financing options that will work within your budget. You can only know if you find out. Culligan.com is the place to go. They've been servicing the area and really all over the place for decades and decades and decades. They do this at a high level, and you should tap in just like I did. Culligan.com, Culligan Water.
Hey, Culligan man.
That's the way to go. C-Cat, man, we got a big announcement to make here. We got a big announcement to make. Are you ready for this? Is this even something that you assumed could be possible? As a young lad here at ESPN West Palm, did you think that something this great could happen?
I'm a big fan of time capsules. And if I was in, 2005, I wouldn't even dream to have put this in that time capsule that this would happen.
Well, guess what, Cat?
What?
It's happening, dog.
Uh-oh.
It's happening. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it once. I'm going to say it loud. I'm going to say it clear. Palm Beach County, listen up. The Florida Panthers hockey team, that hockey squad, has a new home, and it's ESPN 106.3. The Cats are on the airwaves here in perpetuity on ESPN 106.3. ESPN West Palm is now the new home of Panthers hockey, the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Download the ESPN South Florida app today, and you can listen to every game right at your fingertips. Is that not enough? You want more than the app? I got more than the app for you. How about this? You can stay connected with us on social media at ESPN West Palm. And you can take a look at our YouTube page at ESPN West Palm as well. Check out the Panthers, the Cats, all the hockey covers we're giving you all year long. The road for the three-peat is now on ESPN 106.3. Also on ESPN 106.3 right now, C-Cat, is your fearless leader, Paul Maurice. Here it is from Panthers Media Day. Myself, Theo Dorsey, Paul Maurice, sitting down, talking Cats, talking about that three-peat that's inevitable.
Stanley Cup champion head coach of the Florida Panthers, Paul Maurice. And I know that as we do things here on Panthers Media Day, that's probably starting to get a little old hearing that title.
No, we'd like it to last a year and then change, right? We don't want to hear that forever. We'd like to hear it 3 times, but it does not get old at all. You can just keep going.
You talked about how that first cup in 2024 was euphoric.
Yeah.
The second one was an achievement.
Right.
What would it feel like? I mean, I know you have to take it one step at a time, but what would it feel like to be able to do that thing that they say is so hard to achieve in sports and as a three-peat?
That's the really good question that's kind of driving everybody. If you go back to the start of it, the first one was, for so many of us, we have a number of guys in our room. So Carter Verhaeghe had one in Tampa, but now he had ascended to kind of an elite position on our team. I've got Jamie Compon had 2, assistant coach, Savannah Lefebvre won the Stanley Cup, but for all the rest of us, it's brand new. And that's the euphoria. And you wake up every morning for like 3 weeks, my wife and you'd have tears in your eyes. It's just a dream come true. And to say that next year, there was so much unknown. When are you tired? When you're not tired? Is this, they call it a Stanley Cup hangover, but really all it is this, you have a hard time finding the juice to drive. It's a full contact, fast sport. You're traveling all the time. There's a real physical cost. but you don't know as the coach, is this what they're talking about? Or is it, so are you going in the room, are you spitting nails, or are you going in there and saying, hey, now's the time just to rally, fellas, like stop the bleeding. So in any NHL season, if you spend enough time, you get the landmarks. You get a pretty good idea when you're tired, when you're not tired, when to push the team, when not to. Then you get into last year and you don't know anything. So it's all brand new. Credit to the players and the group that they have in there, that they managed that. They weathered through it. It wasn't, I'd read an article once said, Florida Panthers know how to just get through the regular season and then kind of turn it on the playoffs. This is the exact opposite of what happens. The other team brings their best then every night, and you're playing at a different level of hockey than most teams. There's so much into the emotions of this game, the motivation, the juice is what we kind of call it. That if whatever team has the juice and adheres to the core values of hockey, who plays the hardest, who hits the hardest, who skates the hardest, that team wins on any night. And if you don't have that juice, you got to find a different way to do it. And that was that learning experience last year. We go back into this year, come into camp. The biggest thing I think that has happened to us is that we were able to keep that team together, and it just doesn't happen. And the only reason that happened is we probably got 8 or 9 guys now here who are taking less money to play here. And that just doesn't happen in pro sports. So now we get to keep, when you look at those 3 guys that were up for contract, they're not just great players. They're considered character hard men in the league. So that makes them the most coveted players. When you think about the league, the teams that didn't win are looking at those guys as the piece to put them over the top. The teams in the middle are looking at the guys that help form their young players, and they make the great leap forward into that contending status. And the teams at the bottom are looking at the piece that is the character piece to be the model for their team. So everybody in the league wants them.
Yeah.
But they stay here, and they take less to stay here because they have, and this is a Bill Zito operation, in that he built a team where compensation is beyond the financial. So there's more to this. It's your family, it's the lifestyle, it's how you're treated, it's how you move around the room, so you get a guy that walks in there, the families want to stay, the player wants to stay. So then we get this kind of unusual event that we get to keep these guys. So now we come into this year, and it's not going to be kind of, each year is its own separate life. This is a brand new kind of life that we've got to do all the hard things and build all the hard things. Last year has nothing to do with what we'll do this year, except we think we got a pretty good team and we've learned some things. And that might be, it's not the talent kind of that pushes you forward. It's the learned, shared experiences through adversity. And when it hits again, it's not as dangerous anymore. You've been through it. You've played games 2 or 3 guys out. You've played games back to back. You've traveled all over the place. You're beat, but you still got to be good. And they learned how to do that.
I mean, you talk about guys, playing shorthanded, maybe potentially having guys out. One of the most important pieces of the Panthers puzzle over this run has been Matthew Tkachuk. What have the conversations been like with him? How's his health coming off the surgery?
The surgery went well. We're going to know probably in about a month what the final timeline looks like, because this first kind of bit of healing will tell you how long it's going to be out. It's going to be long term. I mean, he's going to be into the mid part of the season, I think, before we see him. We did it last year, kind of after the 4 Nations, but we also lost Aaron Ekblad at that point in time. So we had a bunch of pieces out. We kind of won some games, lost some games, but it's going to be a grinder without him. We're going to miss him. And he's such a critical part to what we do. But maybe there's your adversity. You go back to the first year we won the Stanley Cup. We started the season without Ekblad out on tour, the first 20 games, right? And everybody thought, well, these guys are done. They went to the final, which is a great run in the league. Like, you go to the final, you get to talk about that for 4 or 5 years, even if you don't win. We lose those 2 defensemen, but we found a way to come out and be just as good. And what it did was it forced us to play a little tighter game, which made us, it's probably, that adversity right there might be the driver of why we won the Stanley Cup, right? We learned how to play differently.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have a key piece out of our lineup again, and we're going to have to learn how to play a little differently to do it.
Paul Maurice here, the Stanley Cup champion head coach, 2-time defending, looking for that third with the Florida Panthers. And we're proud here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast to be announcing that we will be an affiliate this year.
Awesome.
We'll be along with y'all for the whole journey. I mean, when you think about how this thing has been expanding over the past few years, obviously it's the fruits of y'all's labor, but how grateful are you for how much people have been buying in on this experience and the culture and the family y'all built?
Well, I just feel like the fans here, have come along. right? I don't feel that they just showed up. I mean, I was just in the league in '95, so I remember kind of the starting years of Florida down here and the different rinks they played in and all of that. And then, I mean, look, I showed up right when the team was really good, so I don't have a whole lot to do with the building. But there's 10 years, right, before we get to the final that they worked really, really hard since Mr. Viola took over this team. I put a tremendous amount of investment into this team. And it takes a while. You don't get the payoff in year one. It feels like we just arrived, but they put 10 years into building this team. And then Bill Zito comes in, and that, when everything was almost right, that's the most important, I think, inflection point for our franchise is Bill Zito comes in. And then Bill does this great job of finding these kind of people that maybe fit here differently than they fit somewhere else. And the coaches included, right? The players, he went out and found a bunch of people and kind of thought they would work together. And it turned out we've been all right. And then we're here now. Like, this is an incredible facility. So we moved into this facility, I think, December 23rd, the year we went to the final. And from that point on, since we came to this building, our team has taken off and won 9 straight coming out of that. Now, we weren't in here the entire, but we won 9 straight games. And that's when, like, in our own room, we went, well, this is pretty good here. Yeah. Right? The guys are walking around going, we got a really good team. But we hadn't been to the final yet, right? Matter of fact, we were grinding at that point. But you walk in and everything seemed to change. It's an incredible facility. The fans are here, they watch practices and interaction with the group. The building's full now, so it feels like we've all moved together. The fans and this team all kind of paid their price for 10 years, and then everything just took off.
Stanley Cups are what matter because that's what you're working towards every day. But if you look 10, 12, 15 years from now and you find out that South Florida became more of a hockey town, there's more kids born and raised here that become NHL players, like, you did a good job.
For sure. And here's what's cool about all of this. The coolest part possibly about all this. Now, I don't want to try to use too much hyperbole here. I'm pretty happy we won Stanley Cups personally, right? Like, I'm happy about that. But the great stories are, what's going to happen is there's, I don't know, pick an age of a kid, somewhere between 5 and 8 years old, and they were at that game. Or they watched that game, Game 6, Game 7 against Edmonton, and there's a shared family memory. Now, like, where it gets awesome is, like in my family last year, my daughter baked a cake on every game day. So that's a lot of cakes, right? So there's a lot of cooking going on. She's incredible at it too. She decorates them. But there's a family story, right? Like, there's the one guy in your family that you lose every time he comes over. So he's not invited anymore. So, right? So he's got to stay at his own place, but you got 12 other people that get together. And if grandma wears the certain dress and grandpa wears the certain shirt, we win. And they've got their connection to our team, right? There's a million superstitions by Florida Panther fans out there, and they're all awesome to hear. That's what I find is the coolest part about this. You run into somebody, and they'll tell you a story where they think that you might think they're crazy. I know this sounds crazy, Paul, but, right, the dog had to be in the back room. Every time they scored, Uncle Bill wasn't allowed in the building. Everybody's got they say, I got my chair that I sit in. I never lost it. I've got a friend that happened to be in Europe when we're playing, right? It's 3 o'clock in the morning and they're sitting out watching the game on their phone. So everybody's got a story and they think they're crazy, but my family's got them too, right? My daughter's baking a cake every kid. My youngest, who's with us now, it wasn't allowed in the main room. You had to watch from upstairs. You know, you hear them screaming from different parts of the house, I guess, when they'd win a game. My wife's got a million superstitions. That's the great stories of here. And then when you can get like grandparents, parents, and a kid that are all tied to that, they get to keep that memory for the rest of their lives. And that's how you build fans.
We had that happen here with ESPN Radio and ESPN West Palm. One of our guys, Jonathan Zaslow, cut his family vacation short.
There you go.
Because when he was at home,
right,
y'all were winning. When he had to hit the road, y'all got a couple of losses there.
And okay. So first of all, what was his name?
Jonathan Zaslow.
Will you tell Jonathan I said hello and thank you very much for that, because this all weaves together. So great story. We get up 3-0. So this is true of the Maurice family too. We get up 3-0 at Edmonton 2 years ago. My daughter's in for the game because in game 4, she goes to Edmonton. We lose. She flies back to Florida. We lose game 5. She sticks around and she's going to wait and we lose game 6. She gets on an airplane and flies because she can't be here game 7.
She didn't want to be.
She couldn't. She's the reason we're losing. So she left. And then she doesn't tell anybody because it's more about people knowing that she's coming. So her now fiance says, on the day of Game 7, you have to be there, win or lose, for your dad. So she gets on a plane and is flying, right? So, and I try not to tear up. I love this story. Anyway, the plane is landing as the game is ending here. And so this is out of Toronto, right? The flight's out of Toronto. There's not a lot of Florida people on there, be more likely to be Canadians. So and the pilot's given the score. Here I go, Chip. We win the game, and the pilot comes on and says to Florida fans, "There's still on the game to win." My daughter loses it in the front of the plane, screaming and bawling her eyes out. Everybody in the plane goes, "What's wrong?" My dad just won the Stanley Cup. So, okay, we get on the ice, and there's a ton of media, and I know my wife and my 2 boys are on the ice. So after I'm looking for them, and as I'm walking there, I'm going, I just told my daughter's side. Like, you know, I mean, it's been 30 years. I've moved, that girl went to 3 different high schools, right? That's like child abuse for a girl, 3 different high schools. Okay, can't believe my daughter's not here. She turned around the corner and she was like, awesome. Yeah, like I'm cheering up too. Okay, so those are Stanley Cup stories. Those are the things that she didn't tell anybody, and it was awesome.
How'd you get security that quick?
Well, it turned out at that point, if you said your dad was the coach, they kind of help you out. So there's some small benefits, right, of winning, right? So your daughter gets to the game. So those are the best family Stanley Cup stories. It's what will bind us all together, whether you're a fan that's been to a handful of games, whatever it is. When your kids get attached to it, then I think we've got something really special.
And speaking of special, we can kind of wrap it with this. Just everybody knows the winning, everybody knows the stories of the Stanley Cup runs and all of that, but what we don't realize is just how tight-knit everybody in this locker room is, and it feels like people become family 2 weeks in. Like Brad Marchand just showed up, and in 3 weeks in, he's got to deal with Dairy Queen, and he's got everybody showing up. But how in the world, and unless your job as a coach, but how do you get so many people from different walks of life, different areas, different hockey backgrounds to walk into one building and then all become?
So there has to be something that binds them. There has to be something that they all agree upon. And that for us, it starts with our first 5 days of training camp. They're very hard, and they all work hard. So there's the great question. How do you get Sasha Barkov in some way to be the same as your 13th forward? Because we don't pay him the same. I mean, and there's a reason for that. He's rightfully paid. How do you do that? And that is, you have to have certain things that you will do as a team, that it doesn't matter who you are. And really, that's kind of my job, right? Decide they have to be the right things. It can't be, everybody's like, I haven't chased a guy around for being late for a meeting. First of all, it never happens. Like, everybody is a great pro. They show up. And so if there's an aberration in your day, a guy's a little late for a meeting, we laugh about it, right? We give him a hard time. The guy's probably making him buy dinner or whatever. But in terms of very hard things on the ice that we have to sacrifice for each other, there are 4 or 5 things that aren't negotiable. But that's not me being you got to pick the right word. You can't swear at that. I'm not being a hard guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I'm just saying these are the things that we have to do. The players have all looked around and said, yes, we agree with that. We'll do those things. And that's all I do is monitor those 4 or 5 hard things. So that's how you can get a guy from Finland, and you can get a guy from the U.S. and somebody with completely different styles of game and completely different talents. We don't want them to be all alike. We want a tremendous amount of diversity in style and of people and of personalities. The more, the better. But on these things, we don't bend. And everybody accepts that. And that's how we measure our game. Were we good last night? Were we good in these 4 or 5 things? Now, there's clearly more to the game than 4 or 5 things. There's always little things we're working on. But there's a handful of things that we want to do. And the things that when we do them, we're really, really good.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we connect everybody together.
Looking forward to growing and watching with this connection, especially at ESPN West Palm. Is now we're an affiliate, so
it'd be great. It's good to have you. Congratulations. And just make sure you give him a handshake and say thank you to the lad that left his vacation.
Yes.
There's a guy who understands. That guy is a pro sports guy. And you know what? He's an amateur sports guy too, right? That's the guy that when he loses his men's league game, basketball game, goes home and he won't talk to anybody for a day. That man gets sports.
Yes.
All right.
If anybody gets it, Jonathan Zaslow gets it.
All right. Well, we got to get him in here.
Yes. So it's all
right. My
Thank
pleasure.
you so much
Yeah,
for your time,
my pleasure.
man. And good luck at training camp.
Welcome.
keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or BradleyAir.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
You know, it's my favorite time of the year because it's football season. And if you are a fan of football like I am, you need to be playing Prize Picks. All right? Simple. It's simple. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 different player stat projections. Will Saquon Barkley have more or less than 1 rushing touchdown? I don't want to say, let's say Patrick Mahomes have more or less than 1.5 passing touchdowns. If your picks are right, you can cash in. Prize Picks also puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. They offer Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits right into your account all football season long. All right, we make decisions every day. How about you make some decisions you can get paid off of? Make some decisions where you can be right and get paid. And speaking of CCAT, just a quick one right here from last night. More than 1.5 rushing yards, Tua Tagovailoa. More than 5.5 receptions, Garrett Wilson. That one cashed last night, $10 for 30. 10 for 30.
Ooh, that's dinner right there.
Come on now. Prize Picks, download the app today. Use promo code THEOD. You put that in, you get $50 free in lineups once you play your first $5 lineup. That's Prize Picks, promo code THEOD. And you know what? Prize Picks is good to be right.
You do some baseball in there, too. We got the wild card series starting today. I'm looking at it right now. Elly De La Cruz, his more than or less than total bases is 0.5. So if you think he's going to get more, then hop on in.
Hop on in. And speaking of hopping on.
The Safebound Get Around is brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage, South Florida's most trusted moving company. You're safe with Safebound.
It's the Safebound Get Around. That's how we get everywhere. I mean, anywhere. And I do mean everywhere where sports are happening or big life events. And where are we going to start?
Next stop,
Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, you know what? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Like Lonzo Ball said, they got water.
They certainly do. And they've got baseball. They've got postseason baseball. They've got division-winning baseball. The Cleveland Guardians completed their 15.5 game comeback to win the division over the Tigers. And they've got the Tigers coming to town for that 3-game wild card series. Their game's already underway. They're in the bottom of the 7th right now, and the road team, Detroit, has a 2-1 lead over the Guardians. That game started at around 1 o'clock. How about 3:08 p.m.? It's Cubs and it's Padres in that wild card round. Yankees, Red Sox, 6 o'clock first pitch in the Bronx. And the final game of the day in these game ones of wild card series are Dodgers, Reds. Are you a fan of Major League Baseball spreading out their wild card series, which necessitates matinee playoff baseball?
Yes, and I'm also a fan of the overreaction people had to the Boston Red Sox before the trade deadline or on the trade deadline day.
Okay.
Remember all of those overreactions? Oh, the Jet Devers. No, you could never do. And they were terrible at that point, and they've been much better since. And now they're in the playoffs against your Yankees. Are you nervous?
I am very nervous. I got to be honest. The Yankees are scorching hot.
Yeah.
They're red hot. They made every effort possible to actually win the division and only lost on a tiebreaker. They matched the Blue Jays' win total this season. I'm nervous because it's the Red Sox, and the Red Sox did win the season against the Yankees. Yeah. But their rotation looks nice. No Soto stinks. I like having Soto in that lineup for the playoffs. He hit the biggest home run in the past, since 2009 for the New York Yankees in the playoffs to send them to the World Series last year. Not having him leaves a lot to be desired in that lineup, but I think the Yankees might be a better overall team. But that whole team isn't in the batter's box in the bottom of the 9th inning. It's one guy at a time. And one of those guys not being Juan Soto kind of stinks. But thankfully, we get to rip the Band-Aid off in just a 3-game series.
I'm sad about the Astros.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to watch them this year. I don't start till the postseason. And so
Wow.
First time since 2016, man. I didn't know. If I would have knew this would have happened, I would have watched all 162.
Next stop.
How can they do this to me?
We're going to Denver, Colorado, where the Broncos absolutely dog-walked the Cincinnati Bengals in the second of two Monday Night Football games, 28-3. Broncos over Bengals. What was your main takeaway when you either watched this game, because I don't know if you did when you got home, or just saw the final score?
No, I didn't watch this game. We were both headed back from Hard Rock Stadium. We had the game kind of on the phone, and I'm just curious what the hell happened to Jake Browning. Like, he was so good in 2023 spelling Joe Burrow. He had a winning record. In fact, the Bengals were kind of better on paper without Joe Burrow that year. And then this year, he seems like he cannot get the ball to Jamar Chase despite all of Chase's efforts to get open against Patrick Surtain. I don't know if this is tenable for the Bengals. You saw Jamar Chase charge up Zach Taylor on the sideline during that game. Like,
he seems malcontent.
People were joking about Russell Wilson to the Bengals. What I do know is Russ will know how to get the ball. He just had a sample size just throwing the ball to number one. Just do it in stripes now. I would love to see the Bengals go out and make a move for Russ if they're serious about trying to actually be competitive in these games, because that's now back-to-back games where that offense looked inept, and you cannot have that with that level of talent.
That's your safe bound get around.
Safe bound get around, just like that. On the other side, Cameron Wolf, we are howling with the Wolf. He is Cameron Wolf of NFL Network. He joins us on the other side with some hot takes as well. Not hot takes. He's not a hot take guy, but he was at the Dolphins.
I think his takes are hot, but not by purpose.
Yeah,
they happen to be hot.
There's hot take guys.
He doesn't put his take in the oven and warm it up and then watch you. And you go, that was hot.
Yeah,
you burn your tongue.
But they're hot.
They just naturally run hot,
like fresh pizza, fresh out the stove.
Yes,
or really out of the brick oven. That's on the other side. The C-Cat, I'm Theo Dorsey. The happy hour's next on Theoretically Speaking.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 1063.
Hey, it's Theo Dorsey. My favorite time of year is here. Football season. And if you're a fan of football, you need to be playing Prize Picks. It's simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. Will Saquon Barkley have more or less than 1 rushing touchdown? Will Joe Burrow throw more or less than 2.5 passing touchdowns? If your picks are right, you can cash in. Prize Picks also puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast and safe and secure. They offer Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account all football season. We make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Download the app today and use code THEOD to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code THEOD to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Tina, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hey, Colin, what's up?
How's the gym?
It's been great. I'm seeing results. My sports certified Vitacost products have made a world of difference.
Oh, same. Isn't it great? Vitacost is basically the reason I've been able to keep up with Ironman training. Everything you need is in one place for my BCAAs, protein, and electrolytes. Best part, it's all clean and free of banned substances.
Go re-up on your supplements today. Visit Vitacost.com and use code ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game with Vitacost.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. The next chapter of Audi is here. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Get ready, South Florida. It's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU's Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Two of the best group of 5 teams go head-to-head in the ultimate holiday showdown. Over 150 players have gone from this field to the NFL. Who's next? Visit BocaRatonBowl.com for the latest, including when tickets will go on sale. The 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Anna Jar and Levine. Call 1-800-7473. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stress light. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It is your boy Theo Dorsey. It is the happy hour on a Top 5 Tuesday. We are fresh off week 4 of the NFL season. And by golly, the Dolphins got to win. Well, you look at that. So, if you're a Dolphins fan, you're looking at that record and you see the 0 and the 3. And then you look and you're watching Sunday Night Football and Seacats on the other side of the glass on the 1s and 2s. And you're looking at the Cowboys and Packers. You're like, damn, they got a tie before we could even get a win. I didn't even know there was a third column. The hell is that? Finally, that 0 has been vacated, and you get a 1 in there. 1-3 Dolphins. They get a 27-21 win over the New York Jets, a division win, and that is huge. The division win, that's huge if you want to be able to compete for that AFC East. So that's going to count if other things also go in their favor. But joining us right now, he is NFL Network national reporter. He also has covered the Dolphins for seemingly about around like 7-8 years at this point. Cameron Wolf. We're howling with the Wolf. And how many years has it been that you've been covering the Dolphins with a close eye?
Oh, yeah. 11th year covering the league, covered the Dolphins. This is going into year 8. I did or year 7. I did 3 just the Dolphins for ESPN, and this is my 4th with NFL Network covering the league. But I live here, so I cover the Dolphins more than any other team.
Yeah, you catch a lot of it. You and I both caught a large majority of this. I did leave a little early. Don't blame me, Miami fans. But
gotta beat that traffic.
Yeah. You and I caught a good portion of that game together, and you watched it all. And the Fins beat the Jets, but the story of this game feels obviously much bigger because you lose Tyreek Hill to the gruesome leg injury, the knee injury, and then also on top of that, like, the Jets kind of felt like the better team that just kept on like hitting their head against the wall, Cam.
Yeah, it's that meme. But what cost? But at what cost?
It's hard. That's a hard phrase to get, Cam. We can try to. But at what cost?
But at what cost? Right? We're thinking here on a Tuesday morning. We say the Dolphins have a win, but at what cost? And honestly, as I was in the locker room after the game, it's a weird feeling because you finally get that victory, but guys aren't super excited because even though you don't know, that's the end of Tyreek Hill as a Dolphin. That's your best player. That's your hope for the grand land of the ball. And like you said, all the issues aren't fixed. You beat the Jets, which is better than losing to the Jets, but it's not this grand old trophy performance. It's probably one of the worst 3 or 4 football teams in the league. They got ran all over, and so I think you want to see the consistency. If you're the Dolphins fans, you're happy that you got a win, but I think we're far from saying that they're back yet.
I thought, Cam, and I know a lot of people are trying to project and figure out, will Tyreek Hill ever play again, or will he ever play in a Dolphins jersey again? Scrap that. We'll get to that later. I didn't think I was ever going to see Darren Waller play again.
Right.
What was that?
Hey, man, I was the same. I thought there was a good chance that we saw him being a rapper before we saw him catching touchdowns in Miami. But look, he said that he's been trying to get back. And yeah, the timing wasn't great coming off retirement, hadn't played in 2 years, and then you get all these random injuries right before getting play. But I'll tell you what, he is exactly what they were missing as a red zone threat. He only played mostly in those short yardage red zone situations. But man, when you got to do 6'6", who you can just throw it 8 feet in the end zone, he's going to come down with it. That makes a difference. So Darren Waller, he's got a song that said, "I got the beam on me." And I know he was blasting that "I got the beam on me" as he was driving home from the stadium last night.
What was it like? I guarantee you he was blasting that and probably a lot more all through the night. You got to be happy when you hadn't played a football game in 2 years and you get 2 touchdowns on primetime television.
Yeah, for sure.
Darren Waller got the game ball, right, in the locker room last
Yeah.
night.
He got one of them. Tyrell Dodson, who had a big sack, got another one as well. But yeah, the Dolphins players have tried to tell us, and Mike McDaniel, that like this was coming. And forgive us for not believing them because we hadn't seen them for a couple months, but they were right. This was coming. They did have something cooking, and Tua seemed to love throwing to somebody taller than 5'10". Like it seems like all their receivers are, and so maybe they got something. Maybe they got something in Darren Waller.
A lot of the coverage of the Dolphins this year and a lot of the questions that are going to come in and out of each of their games is going to be, okay, did this save Mike McDaniel his job, or did this lose him his job? Clearly the win is going to help, but what does it feel like in and around that organization Mike McDaniel's job security actually is? Because it feels like, sure, you get a win, but the Dolphins still feel like this kind of like dead man walking team where everybody's just waiting for it to kind of all collapse.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have a verdict on their season at the end of the year, regardless. And so, yes, if they don't make the playoffs, if they have a losing record, there's a real chance that this is the end of this current era. That being said, I never believed that we were at an imminent place. Like I know before the Buffalo game, things got really loud of if it was ugly, Stephen Ross can make a decision. I never got that feel. Stephen Ross doesn't want to be embarrassed. Stephen Ross doesn't want people not to care. But I think he does want to have patience. And so I do think at this stage you see Mike McDaniel last throughout the year. And then after the year, based on the results, they'll make a call. So that's my view on his job security. But I think more importantly for the direction of the Dolphins, this Tyreek Hill injury kind of creates a interesting question. If the Dolphins are 3-5, 4-6 at the deadline, not having their best player due to injury, do they still push up with the thought that we're all in on playoffs, or do they start selling parts? That was already going to be a question when Tyreek was there, and I don't know the answer. And that's where ownership, that question comes in. Do you let your dudes do the job and finish it out regardless, or do you come in and say, hey, we need to go ahead and save some money, get some draft picks, and plan for 26?
And that's the thing. I don't think Tyreek Hill's contract is guaranteed in 2026, so it feels almost guaranteed that he will not ever play another game for the Dolphins. But what's your feel around – I mean, he's not going out like this. We're going to see him play NFL football again if the knee actually heals back correctly.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, he's a competitor. I won't sugarcoat it with you. This is a very serious injury. Like, he's got multiple ligaments torn, at least 2, maybe 3, including the ACL, a knee dislocation. It would be a miraculous recovery for him to even be ready for the start of the 2026 season. regardless of what uniform he has on. So you got to think about it. This is a guy who's a speed playmaker at the first and foremost. This is a guy that's about to turn 32 years old next year. Look, heck of a player, heck of a talent. I wouldn't want to rule him out, but man, that is going to be a hard thing for him to come back from and be the same player. Does he want to come back just to prove he comes back, or does he only want to come back if he's going to be the cheetah that we once saw? And again, we saw Nick Chubb go through an injury, a knee dislocation with a lot of these things. He came back, he's playing, but he's certainly not the same Nick Chubb and may not ever be the same Nick Chubb again. And I think that's something that we'll have to ask, as Tyreek goes through this lengthy recovery.
Definitely so. And Woody Marks is he's howling. If I do say so myself.
Yeah. Fantasy waiver wire number 1, I bet, for a lot of people in their leagues. Woody Marks. You might need him. You might need him on your fantasy team the way it's been looking. Last time I checked.
Well, you know what? People don't need to know that. I'm hustling in silence right now. Wait till like week 8 or 9. That's when I like to peak. Cameron Wolf joining us here on Theoretically Speaking here on a Tuesday following a Monday Night Football win from the Miami Dolphins. Let's turn away from the Dolphins though, man. Let's look at the league at a whole now. Through 4 weeks, the biggest thing that popped to me was the revival of the Chiefs offense when Xavier Worthy returned to the lineup and the way in which Mahomes now can work every area of the field. And they still got Rashee Rice coming in a couple of weeks, so I'm more optimistic about the outlook of my favorite team, selfishly. But for you, the person who looks at it with an expert view and at a wider angle, what's the biggest thing that has popped to you through 4 weeks of this National Football League season?
Yeah, definitely one of the rare good weeks for the Chiefs this season. So I understand why you want to talk about them. But I'm excited to see the Chiefs this weekend. I actually will be down in Jacksonville Monday to see them. And it seems like every year we do this with them, right? Like the offense doesn't look good. This is the end of the demise. Patrick doesn't have any weapons, and then all of a sudden they heat it up. They get in the playoffs and they make the Super Bowl. And so I'm not gonna, put a fork in the Chiefs until I see it. And so I'm with you. I saw Xavier Worthy giving that deep threat, spreading a defense out the way that they desperately needed. Rashee Rice return will definitely help out Travis Kelce and the rest of the team. And the reality is they had a tough early slate. Like they got a really difficult slate when they had some injuries. I think they're getting their legs behind them on the defensive side of the ball too. And so I'm not worried about the Chiefs. They're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be one of the last 2 or 3 teams in the AFC. And I'm sure a lot of Chiefs fans, just like you, were happy to see that offense come alive.
Thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. Best thing that's ever happened to me in the past at least a couple of weeks of watching the NFL. It has been an ugly start.
Yes.
Cameron Wolf joining us here, NFL Network reporter who covers it all and also has a keen eye on those Miami Dolphins. Howling with the Wolf on Theoretically Speaking here. Curious on your behalf as well as we now look at a team in the Cincinnati Bengals. You have the picture behind you here where where it's you interviewing Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow ain't walking through that tunnel for at least another 3 months and likely not the rest of this year.
For sure.
Is there a chance that the Bengals finally pull the plug and say, hey, this ain't 2023, Jake Browning ain't cutting it no more?
It seems like we're getting closer, right? I would have told you 2 weeks ago, no way, because they love Jake Browning. They love what he was doing in 2023. But I'm looking at Jamar Chase yelling at Zach Taylor on the sideline. I'm looking at the fact they got the worst offense in football through 4 weeks. I'm looking at the fact that even with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they're still not getting open down the field. If you hope to salvage this season, you got to go get somebody. Give Kirk Cousins a call. Give Russell Wilson a call. The Giants, they got 2 of them, Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston. Make your pick. But there has to be something, I'd imagine, to get done. They may give them 1 more week, but you got to start to feel this thing slipping away, especially the way they're losing. And look, let's take a quick look at the AFC North, because this division is all of a sudden open. The Ravens, 1-3, Lamar Jackson injured. He may miss some game time. That was the favorite. The Steelers up and down all season. They're coming off a nice win, but that defense certainly hasn't been what they expected it to be. And the Browns are the Browns. They may be making a quarterback change this week and starting to plan for 2026. And so the Bengals, if they have any hope have to make an aggressive move and not just reactionary moves. So yeah, I'm with you. I think that there should certainly be some calls being made of what do we do at quarterback there.
We're howling with the Wolf. Cameron Wolf joining us here from NFL Network, our guy here on Theoretically Speaking on a Tuesday. A quick question, Cam, because it was brought to my attention. C-Cat said it into my ear. I'm sure you couldn't hear him. That the picture behind you is indeed not Joe Burrow, but Jamar Chase. Can we get a validation on that? I see the other one.
Yeah, that's Jamar Chase. I get it. They look alike. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, they're twins. But yeah,
Okay.
This is Jamar Chase. This was from a game I think last year, somewhere cold, giving my coat.
Yes.
But yeah, that's Jamar Chase. That's Jamar Chase. And this is Joe Burrow. So yeah, he's still playing, although it didn't look like it from his face. And last night when he was mad at Zach Taylor.
No, this is two of his 4 worst career games have happened against the Broncos, and Pat Surtain is the man. Like, he has proven that Defensive Player of the Year award last year, it wasn't a one and done.
Yeah. Hall of Famer in the making of Patrick Surtain. I'll say that now. I know it's probably early, but he is the one. Darrelle Revis was the previous generation. Pat Surtain second. He's the one. He's the eraser. He's the island. And so I know we had a lot of young dudes come up and have their wave, whether it was Sauce Gardner, whether it was Derek Stingley, whether it was this guy. It's Pat. That's it. And so when you play him every week, you know that it's going to be hard for you to get your stuff. And it's certainly made worse by the fact that, Jamar does not have Joe.
Yeah, that's going to hurt it. One quick thing. I have two things before we go here. Number one, you mentioned Sauce Gardner. That was a quick run that he had as like the top guy in the league as a corner. But C-Cat has an issue with Sauce Gardner because he also seemed to have a quick ascension on the golf course. We think he's been fudging his numbers when it comes to the golf scores he's been showing.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? What do you think of Sauce Gardner and him in these golf scores?
This is a rewind to last summer where Sauce Gardner said he broke 90 after picking up the game that year.
Yeah.
That's a load of garbage, Cam. You have to admit that.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I played golf for a long time, and I've only broken 90 one time in my life. And it was like the perfect day, and it was still an 89. So I know Sauce Gardner is a much better athlete than I, and I have watched players get better in a short period of time, but the same year you pick up the club is a little hard for me to believe.
Right.
If it's a few years, maybe, but I got to see it up close for me to confirm how many mullies is he taking, how many of Theo's is he doing where, hey, I found the ball in the woods, even though I didn't find the ball. I would have to see that up close.
Yeah.
Questioning my integrity?
Yeah, the classic, there's a whiff count. I didn't touch the ball, so it's not a stroke.
Yeah. It was just a mully, I didn't mean to hit that,
Thanks. So if you're gonna create a game in which all you gotta do is write your score down and it counts, then don't get mad at the dude for writing down the wrong score.
Hey, nobody's mad. Just saying, hey, do we believe it or not?
Do we believe it? And I don't.
Question. I don't know.
I don't believe it because I have realized golf is really hard.
Yeah.
Golf. Also really hard, Cam, is playing both ways in the NFL, and Travis Hunter is learning that the hard way. You're obviously going to have your eyes on that Chiefs offense on Monday Night Football. Is this going to be Chiefs Jags, and you're going to see that in Jacksonville?
Yep.
How much of the attention is going to be paid to what the usage is around Travis Hunter, and where do you see this thing going now through 4 weeks where it's been up and down?
Yeah, I'm going to dig into that a lot more this week, talking to some people on that staff. It's interesting because like early on, what I had heard was just quite frankly, the game was a lot playing both sides of the ball, which is not a surprise. Nobody's surprised to hear that, but he's so smart. The thought was, hey, we're going to give it to him and let him handle it. And I think that you saw, especially on offense, his details were maybe not there. He maybe wasn't always knowing the full play or how to line up. They've simplified him, having him just play the F position. This past game, he started playing defense, played like 8 snaps, and then offense the rest of the game. So I think they're trying a different route where we're saying we're only going to let him play one side of the ball at the same time in the game, where, hey, he's playing defense, and then once you're done defense, you're just offense. They're trying to figure it out. Clearly, this is a work in progress, but they still haven't given up on the idea of him being a two-way player. It just is not as smooth as possible at this stage. I do think that eventually they believe he'll catch a breather, he'll catch up. But I think until then, he doesn't need to be in your fantasy lineup. And right now, Jacksonville's just hoping that he's a contributor and not necessarily the star that they hope from the jump.
But they're 3-1. Like all of that, you got the Brian Thomas drops, and somehow they're just winning football games.
That defense, 13 turnovers. Keep an eye on the name, Anthony Campanelli, the defensive coordinator there. First year defensive coordinator, has helped turn it around. He's going to be a name in the head coach cycle a lot this offseason, and he's got him taking away the ball. That's why they're 3-1, but they still got to figure out the rest of the issues we're talking about on offense.
Head coaching candidate. I got to see how far that drive from Jacksonville to Miami is and see if that's a potential thing that might be happening here. Cameron Wolfe, appreciate your time, and we'll tap back in with you next week. And again, man, hey, when you're covering that Chiefs-Jags game, I need to get the Travis Hunter report, but then also I need to hear some favorable things about that Chiefs offense because it's Jets up, dog.
Well, it's a good week to hear favorable stuff. We don't know what it's going to be like next week, given how the Chiefs' inconsistency is. But for this week, you will get some good Chiefs content on NFL Network on Monday night.
That's what I want to hear. Appreciate you, Cam Wolfe. I'm going to go join my book club with A.J. Brown now. So that's, if you know, you know. Again, much love to Cam Wolfe, Howling with the Wolf, joining us here on Tuesdays through the NFL season, talking some ball, and also, C-Cat, man, that press box. He was in that press box with us when the Tyreek Hill injury happened, and it was a noise, like grunts and moans, and then afterwards, just silence.
And I got to be honest.
Weird.
I'm seeing more and more videos of him cracking the biggest smile in the world. The jokes that were being made of, yes, I don't have to play football with Tua or Mike McDaniel anymore, they might not be all that far-fetched. I honestly think that.
You think
$72 million guaranteed?
Yeah.
Like, he was smiling in the ambulance. People had cameras on him. They could see through the window.
He's trying to put on a good face.
It's in the ambulance where there's no cameras, he thinks?
You said there were cameras.
He doesn't see that he's on camera. Someone's phone took out and recorded him through the window. I don't know. I think this Tyreek Hill's got a screw loose. Or maybe he's a better financial person than we think.
Yeah.
If he's like happy that this life-threatening, possibly, at least life-altering injury happened to him on national television, that's going to possibly take over his career.
Here's the thing, C-Cat. Never try to make a move that Tyreek Hill is making to make sense. It's like he's not a very logical acting person oftentimes. He tends to be a little hot-headed.
Yeah. Hot-headed.
Yeah.
Logical moves.
Okay.
That makes me think of EDS.
Oh, it should, because Florida Heat plays hard and it never takes a timeout, C-Cat. EDSIsyes.com. That's where you need to go to combat the heat, to combat that hot head of yours. Maybe your hot head is because of your hot room in your hot house, and you need air conditioning. You need help. Going cheap on AC or plumbing is actually a losing game, and it's going to cost you more down the line. Cheap now, you're going to spend more later. EDS stands for Everyday Savings, the real kind. Quality work, trust, and peace of mind. Palm Beach County has relied on EDS to stay cool and comfortable, and so have I. You get same-day hot water heater replacements, 2 yearly tune-ups, and you can stay cool with the EDS Gold Plan, all right? There's also 0% interest for 60 months for qualified customers. You get value, comfort, and a winning record with EDS. EDS is yes. Visit EDSIsyes.com. On the other side, Monday midterms on a Tuesday. Tina pulls up. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We are Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
What if every use of your debit card turns spare change into something meaningful, like growing your savings and supporting local community causes? With Flagler Credit Union's Impact Checking with Everyday Change, your spare change can have big impact. Each transaction can be rounded up to grow your savings and support nonprofits that provide meals, shelter, and essential services locally. Make an impact in your life and in your community. Open your Impact Checking account today. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
You lather, rinse, moisturize, and repeat. At this point, you're practically training for the Shower Olympics. But here's the twist. It's not your shampoo's fault, it's your water. Hard water leaves a mineral residue that clogs your pores and dries out your hair. Culligan water softeners remove damaging minerals, revitalizing brittle hair and dry skin. Upgrade your shower system today for only $79 a month. Visit Culligan.com for more information or just say,
Hey, Culligan man!
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
How'd you get your money so quick?
Hard Rock Bet's got lightning fast withdrawals.
Almost as fast as Dale Jr. valeting cars at this party.
Man, he's fast.
Hard Rock Bet's fast withdrawals have given me new motivation. Tips are appreciated.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
ESPN West Palm is on the move. Brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage, the most trusted moving company in Florida. You're safe with Safebound.
We want to see you in a Greenway Kia.
Are you tired of the hassle of buying a car? At Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach, we're changing the game. No pushy salespeople here, just friendly product specialists on salary here to help you find the perfect ride. With over 500 vehicles in stock and a goal to sell 250 by month's end, that means incredible deals are waiting for you. Forget the back and forth negotiations. Once you pick your dream Kia, you'll work with one manager the entire time, making decisions on the spot for a smooth, stress-free experience. We'll even handle the paperwork, your tags, insurance, and every detail. Need help learning all the features? We'll schedule a post-delivery session when it's convenient for you. And if you can't make it in, we'll bring a new Kia right to your home or office for a test drive. Plus, for a limited time, you'll see the factory invoice right on the windshield of every car in the showroom. Visit Greenway Kia today or shop online at GreenwayKiaWestPalmBeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
It's a Twin Peaks Tuesday. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge for eats, drinks, and scenic views. This is ESPN 106.3.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit SignoramawPB.com.
The pink smoke is taking over South Florida. Listen to Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, and Jordi Alba and Inter Miami in their pursuit of an MLS Cup all season long right here on ESPN 106.3.
Messi, left foot, in on Guzan, tips it up and over, it's a goal! Lionel Messi is on the board!
Listen to it all on the ESPN South Florida app, brought to you by PNC Bank, Audi, and Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath.
Welcome into the Kaiser Sports Update. I'm Cade Shumsland. Lots of hardware handed out at the ITA Regionals tennis tournament last week for both men's and women's tennis teams. Shahid Alam took home the individual title for the men. After being down 4-1 in the first set, Alam roared back to win 7-5 before taking the second set and becoming the first ever repeat champion at the ITA Regionals for Kaiser University. He also teamed up with Heber Santos to take the doubles trophy. For the women, dominant senior Violet Apisa won her 4th straight ITA regional singles title and then paired up with her sister Patricia to win the doubles championship between Seahawks teammates Alexandra Melnikova and Kato Tankau. This was Patricia Apisa's first doubles finals round victory. For times and tickets on all of Kaiser University's athletic events, head to KUSeahawks.com.
Putting the ball behind the keeper takes lots and lots of tireless work that leads to something brilliant. It's the same with PNC Bank. They take a smart, practical approach with your money so you can score brilliant financial goals. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865 and proud banking sponsor of Inter Miami CF radio broadcasts. Visit pnc.com/brilliantlyboring. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Experience the power and prestige of the new 2025 Range Rover Sport P530 Dynamic SE. Now available for lease at just $1529 a month for 36 months. With $89.95 due at signing, you'll be behind the wheel of true luxury and performance. But hurry, offers like this don't last forever. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and drive the future of sophistication. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Well, Sabrina Carpenter in the happy hour here on Theoretically Speaking. We're following week 4 of the NFL season. We got a fun college football weekend coming up with Florida State hosting Miami. The Hurricanes get to shellac the Seminoles.
It's the only good game. It's not a good college football weekend.
Oh, I guess I only care about my team.
All about the Canes, all for Theo.
Damn right, all about the U. Seacat's on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos. He's hating because Penn State, they got blacked out in their whiteout. And Tina's here for the happy hour, giving us a cocktail of the day that maybe we can black out on.
Maybe. By the way, Seacat, my mom over the weekend, she texted me. She goes, I'm watching the Penn State game. I go, oh, okay, Mom. I love that. She goes, I want Oregon to win, but I'm loving the whiteout that Penn State's doing. Nice. I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's a great summarization.
Yeah.
That's why I went to Penn State. I watched 2013 Penn State versus Michigan. Allen Robinson scored a touchdown, and that's why I went there.
Who's the coach that you think that ACC kickoff?
Oh, Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien, yeah. He's a big Bill O'Brien guy because Bill O'Brien was calling. Oh, he's the head coach. He was the interim,
yeah,
right?
He took Penn State football out of the grave.
Yes, after Sandusky put him in there.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
That is what happened. Tina, can we get a cocktail, please, just to get that taste out of our mouth?
Yes. So I always try to find a cocktail that is relatable to maybe something that happened that's coming up, a national day. I try to look up a cocktail that was like tie-worthy for this weekend's games. I ended up coming.
No, you're going to do something with the Seminoles?
No.
Okay.
I ended up deciding to do a cocktail that goes with Tyreek Hill and him dislocating his knee. The bee's knees.
Wow, edgy. You were in the building.
I know. I was there last night. Dolphins Jets.
He ruined his life about 600 feet from Tina. And she said, that reminds me of the bee's knees.
It wasn't my first choice of trying to find a cocktail.
This could have went any direction. And you know what, though?
I was smiling, too.
Well, okay. He was too.
Yeah, he was smiling and he was yelling yes. And he would like that. He was cracking jokes on the cart as he was getting carted off. He's good.
He's good. I can do this.
He didn't die. He hurt his knee and he's going to be back and he'll be better. And you know what? He can enjoy a bee's knees as he recovers. His knee recovers from that gruesome injury. His leg was hanging. It was disgusting.
It was bad.
How close were you to it? Like what your section? You were in the 100 bowl. So was you like
I was in a lower level, row 18.
Were you on that side or was it opposite side of you?
I was on that side.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It was but the thing is where I was sitting, you saw him like get hit, but I didn't see like him on the ground and his leg all that way. But it was crazy to see just in seconds, everyone from the Dolphins side running over a car on the field immediately.
Yeah.
And then it was like, wait, what happened? What's going on? And then I immediately went to Twitter and was like refreshing.
They never showed it on the Jumbotron inside the stadium, I'm guessing.
They did not,
Okay, because they showed it in the press box on a couple of the screens. Because some of them were just a broadcast, which it was on the broadcast for quite some time.
Yes, I didn't see it at all inside the stadium. That's why I was like, I don't know what's going on. I actually saw Emmett Golden, one of our hosts at ESPN Cleveland, he tweeted about his knee. And so then I just kept refreshing Twitter and eventually came like a video popped up of the knee.
So the bee's knees cocktail, and then who was it brought to us by? Oh, what's in it? What's in it
first? There's honey, syrup,
nice,
lemon juice,
nice,
gin,
love
and
it.
then a lemon twist for garnish.
I like that.
Super simple.
Tyreek Hill would love it as well. And who brings us the bee's knees cocktail of the day?
let's say SLBT
I love
because
it.
my car is currently there right now. Sally girl got a nail in her tire this weekend.
Oh.
So I took her over to St. Lucie Battery and Tire. They're getting it all handled. I even decided to. I was like, you know what? I need some other things on my car. I need an oil change. I need some brake pads. They can do it all. Best price out the door, guarantee. St. Lucie Battery and Tire. I personally go to the West Palm location right off Blue Heron and Military Trail, but you can find the one closest to you at slbt.com.
CCAT, it's time for the Monday midterms. I know we got some injury news, too. Should we say that for tomorrow, the injury report? But it was...
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it, okay.
That'll be next segment. You will not want to miss the next segment, theoretically speaking.
You're going to have to
Teaser.
wait. Monday midterms. Tina asked the question. CCAT and I answered them with our whiteboards and also with our mouths.
Yeah, how closely did we watch ball this weekend?
Yeah. It's like a little ball knowledge battle. It's Monday midterms. It's Tuesday, though, so we'll just, for continuity's sake.
We'll roll with it.
Yeah.
And for the record, we are tied right now.
We are tied. We're the Packers and Cowboys.
All right, Tina. What's up first?
The Miami Dolphins avoided falling to 0-4 last night. How many teams are currently 0-4?
I know two of them for sure. And that's tough. Okay, I got my
Boards down, pencils down, boards up. Yeah.
I went with two.
We'll go three.
3.
Yes.
Oh.
Saints, Titans, Jets.
Yes. Correct.
I was
Right
like, did
about
the Saints win? But yeah, they didn't. Yeah.
They've given people like weird first half fights. But
Right.
That's about it.
They've been competitive slightly in a couple games. The Cardinals, they almost beat.
All right. Theo, you take that first one. What's
great.
up next?
A.J. Brown has taken to social media to post cryptic comments about his use in the Eagles offense. How many receivers currently have more receiving yards than A.J. Brown? This
Wow.
can be within 5.
You said
all of them.
receiving yards?
Receiving
Receiving
yards.
yards.
All right.
Every one of them in the NFL. Can I just write that down? I'm going to go with.
Can be within 5.
All right. I got my answer.
Oh, you know what? Let me just change mine real quick.
I know he's not even the leader on his own team of receiving yards.
All right, I got my answer too.
All right, pencils down, boards up. Well, the answer is 65.
Whoa!
60 ball is what I went with.
Yes.
CCAT went with 29. I went with 60 for like most of the ones and twos from each team. That would be dang, 65?
65 men in the NFL
Have more receiving
than A.J. Brown, who were trying to tell us that he's a top 5 receiver in the NFL.
That's a problem, but not for me because I get a point there.
Yeah, not for you.
All right.
Good problems for Teddy.
It's incredible.
If the season ended today, which team would get the final spot in the AFC playoffs as the 7th seed?
Wow, what a question. Because that would mean you need to think about who's the division leaders. And then, oh my God, oh my gosh, there's so many bad teams.
There are a lot of.
Everybody's in the cellar or like undefeated, it feels like right now.
Yeah, in the AFC specifically.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I know a team that is 2-2 that is not a leader in their division.
Huh.
The Bengals are, everybody's 2-2. This is an impossible question. I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, I got mine.
Yeah, I got it. Hold on.
All right, pencils down, boards up. The answer is
Broncos.
the answer is Chiefs.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
I thought it was the Bengals. Theo thought it was the Broncos.
Yes, and it was the Chiefs. And you know what? That makes a lot of sense because the Chiefs now are
2-2.
Yeah, 2-2.
All right.
I'm confused now.
Well, I had a 2-2 team on mine.
We all picked 2-2 teams. The Broncos, the Bengals, the Chiefs, all 2-2. But I guess the Chiefs don't have the tiebreaker.
Huh?
Yeah. It's weird. It's early. It's 4 weeks in. Who's looking at playoff pictures? You're a sicko, Tina.
Sorry.
What's next?
How many plays did Russell Wilson get in during the Giants' win over the Chargers? Which y'all had no faith in Jackson Dart.
No, I didn't. And
How
rightfully
many plays
so.
did Russell Wilson play?
Get in during the Giants' win over the Chargers.
Do we need to get the exact number?
Yes.
Sounds like it.
Yes.
Okay. I only remember Jackson Dart. I just so happened to take a sneak peek of the box score, and I saw he throw a pass.
You both have one.
Yeah.
And the answer is 2.
Whoa. What was the other play? When did this happen? Because the game was never.
Tina, jog our memory.
Fumbled and completed a pass.
He's fumbled, and wow. Well, him to fumble on one of his 2 snaps, he's never seeing the field again in New York. Monday midterms, Tina asked the question, CCAT and I answer.
I haven't gotten one right yet.
This is a tough midterm.
Dang.
What's next?
What is the most points scored in a tie in NFL history?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Little free space in
Yeah.
bingo.
Yeah, that is a free space. I was about to say, is this a trick question? Is it between both teams or one team? Total? Okay. See, we almost both got Hey, look, that's why you got to ask to teach. Hey, teach, clarification, please. This was from Sunday Night Football, Packers Cowboys, and it was 40 plus 40, which would be
80
ball.
Correct.
Theo and CCAT are
Look at
on
us.
the money.
We're both on the board here. I have 3, you have 1, and I think this is the final question here.
Final question.
Final.
I liked a 40-point tie.
That is actually, you know
Yeah,
what?
that was exciting.
If you're gonna tie, let it be 40 to 40 and not like 13 to 13.
I feel like we normally get ties that are low scoring.
Yes.
Because it makes sense. If guys are going up and down the field scoring points, eventually someone's going to score when the other team doesn't have a chance to rebuttal.
I changed my opinion of that tie. I hated it in the moment, but in reflection, it was a fun game to watch still.
Yeah, I think if that game was at 1 o'clock, you might have instantly liked it.
Yes, you're right.
It's a fact of staying up late, investing on getting a winner or getting a loser, and not getting that kind of stinks.
It sucked. The viewers lost, but that night we all won because it was entertaining at least.
All right, Tina, how many more we got?
The finale.
Final question.
Oh.
Monday midterms on a Tuesday.
Which division has the most combined wins to start the year?
Woo-wee!
Huh.
This is tough. It's gonna be one of the most obscure divisions in the world. The Pacific Northwest.
No, I think I got this one on the money. No doubt about it.
Really?
Got to get me my money.
All right. All right. Whoa, you ring the bell quick. Damn.
This is like those, I forget what the name of it, where you had to memorize your times tables, and you'd be given a piece of paper that had a bunch of different ways to do it, and then pencils down.
I hate this.
And you're on a timer.
This is difficult.
I used to.
Tuesday midterms a little harder than Monday midterms.
I know. Tuesdays get tough.
I used to fill in the person that I would grade their paper on that. I would help them out.
Oh, you show love. Yeah, that's nice of you. You're
exactly.
a good guy.
Like, oh, they didn't get to the 8s. I'm going to fill them in for them because I'm smart.
You're such a nice guy for that. All right, I'm going to just go with this. I don't think it's... All right, what you going with? I got NFC West.
All right, Tina. I've got the NFC North.
NFC West.
Woo! I
Go,
am really
Teddy.
like that. I'm really a savant, dog.
This is ridiculous.
I'm the only one out here scoring like that, dog. I'm the only one out here putting up numbers like that. CCAT had
I'm the only person that's playing. This is a direct shot at me.
No. CCAT, don't take it personally. It's not about you. I'm just saying, ain't nobody out here dropping 4 on a Tuesday like your boy. How many did you get?
I got 1.
You got 1. That's Monday midterms, Tina. Who brought us Monday midterms today here?
F45. You can always get a workout in at F45.
Oh, I just worked him out.
There you go. 45-minute workout. You'll break a sweat. You stick with it. You'll see the results. If you want to do a strength class, a cardio class, hybrid, a little bit of both, go to f45training.com to find a location near you, or come join F45 Palm Beach Gardens. Come work out with me right there off PGA Boulevard. F45.
Pull up and work out at F45. Those are always fun. At least I see they look really fun via your Instagram videos, Tina.
You can basically see the workouts if you follow me on Instagram.
Yes. And you do them thoroughly. CCAT on the other side, I will...
You gonna work me out more?
No,
Is that what you're doing on the other side? Got some injury news.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 1063.
Hey, it's Theo Dorsey. My favorite time of year is here, football season. And if you're a fan of football, you need to be playing Prize Picks. It's simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. Will Saquon Barkley have more or less than 1 rushing touchdown? Will Joe Burrow throw more or less than 2.5 passing touchdowns? If your picks are right, you can cash in. Prize Picks also puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast and safe and secure. They offer Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account all football season. We make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Download the app today and use code THEOD to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code THEOD to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Looking to stay cool and save big? Astil Air has been serving South Florida for over 40 years. Get a free duct cleaning with any new unit. Join our Elite Cool membership for 2 preventative maintenance visits a year. Plus, loyal members earn an extra visit and $50 each year toward repairs. We proudly support military and veterans with an extra 15% off. Call 561-232-6366 or visit astilac.com. That's 561-232-6366. Keep your cool with Astil Air.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
PNC Bank salutes you, Soccer on the Radio listener. While others will just read about the match, you're laser focused on every detail. At PNC Bank, we get it. We're all in on helping you make smart money moves and score your financial goals. See how at pnc.com/brilliantlyboring. PNC Bank, proud banking sponsor of Inter Miami CF radio broadcasts and Brilliantly Boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Tina, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hey, Colin, what's up?
How's the gym?
It's been great. I'm seeing results. My sports-certified Vitacost products have made a world of difference.
Oh, same. Isn't it great? Vitacost is basically the reason I've been able to keep up with Ironman training. Everything you need is in one place for my BCAAs, protein, and electrolytes. Best part, it's all clean and free of banned substances.
Go re-up on your supplements today. Visit Vitacost.com and use code ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game with Vitacost.
My leg! My leg! I am not angry. I am in pain. My leg!
Time now for an injury report.
My head and torso!
Wow, that's crazy. They hit me everywhere except
my legs!
Presented by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Go where the pros go.
My leg!
Well, we finally have our update on Lamar Jackson. It is the Baptist Health Orthopedic Care injury report, and it is being reported that he has a hamstring injury that is going to likely keep him out for week 5. This via Brian Wacker. He's unlikely to play week 5 and could miss 2 to 3 weeks. 2-time MVP and Boynton Beach native Lamar Jackson on the mend, and he aching from that loss on Sunday, just like Seacat's aching from the loss on Monday midterms here, and that's presented to you by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, your Baptist Health injury report. Welcome to pro-level orthopedic care at Baptist Health. If an injury is keeping you from what you love, our expert team is here to get you back in the game. Trusted by the pros and ready for you because everyone deserves pro-level care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more. Get well soon, Lamar.
This stinks.
It does suck. Your defensive tackle, Madubuike, also out for the year, and this is a Pro Bowl. This is an all-pro level guy. Lamar out for a couple of games. This is your 1-3. It feels kind of like it's starting to be over.
Yes, and another conclusion that I made here was a couple of weeks ago, we found out that Shedeur Sanders did not want to get drafted by the Baltimore Ravens because he didn't want to be a backup. Well, if he did opt to take that option, he probably would be starting this weekend for Baltimore. And then 40 minutes ago, we got an announcement from the Cleveland Browns, or rather someone that covers the Browns. Dylan Gabriel is going to start at quarterback for the Browns this weekend.
Who announced that?
This is CBS Sports' Matt Zenitz.
All right. Well, there it is.
So
I just want to make sure there were a couple joke announcements before, and I didn't want to.
No.
This is a real deal.
This is a real deal.
Okay.
Verified.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there it is. You're right. Shedeur Sanders would be starting if he was a Baltimore Raven. Unless Cooper Rush had a good preseason like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
He filled in well for Dak Prescott. All right. Well, that's something. I do hate this though for the Ravens because everybody that was a Super Bowl pick of many people, and that's a team that should be contending. Now we have Joe Burrow out for the year, Lamar Jackson out for 2 to 3 weeks, and an AFC North that could be won by the Cleveland Browns.
Hey, all right, come on now.
They're not out of it.
No, you're not going to bring that up. It's the Steelers versus the Ravens for the division.
Is it? The Ravens have the Texans next. You can drop the 1-4 realistically.
Yes. What I would say as a Ravens fan is if you thought about betting on the Ravens to make the AFC Championship game or win the AFC, the time is now. Or maybe wait till they drop to 1-4. The price will not be as high, but it is still that Baltimore Ravens team who was in the AFC Championship last year. They'll get healthy, they'll get right, and they will be there in the end.
All right,
I won't say they'll win it in the end, but they'll be there.
They'll be around. Palm Beach County, I want y'all to know the Florida Panthers hockey, your new home is right here on ESPN 106.3. It's ESPN West Palm Beach. ESPN South Florida app is available. We're going to be the home of the hockey team that's winning it all. Go in love, go in peace, go enjoy.
Get ready, South Florida. It's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU's Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Two of the best group of 5 teams go head-to-head in the ultimate holiday showdown. Over 150 players have gone from this field to the NFL. Who's next? Visit BocaRatonBowl.com for the latest, including when tickets will go on sale. The